Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Eric Paxton. Today is June the 5th, 2025. This is week 5 assignment for Modern Sporting Rifles, and we are going to be working with the AR-10. Everything usually is based off the AR-15, but the AR-10 is what I have, so we're going to go ahead and show clear. We will go ahead and show you that there is no magazine inserted in the magazine well. You can see the top of the upper receiver in there with the gas tube. And then you can see inside there, and I will also put my finger up in there to ensure that there is nothing in chamber. Now we'll go ahead and let that close. And we're going to do a function check. First, with the safety on, you can see the safety is in fact in the safe position right here. Now we will go ahead, give it a trigger pull 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing. We'll place it on fire and give it a pull. You hear the audible drop of the hammer. We'll pull the charging handle to the rear, releasing it again, letting off the trigger, and you hear the audible reset. We'll go ahead and put it back on safe and do the drop test. Nothing. I'm going to place it on fire, listening for any kind of a hammer drop or anything like that. Nothing happens. So now we'll go ahead and do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nothing. It did not fire by any accidental means. So that goes ahead and shows us that the manual safeties and all the manual checks inside are working as they are intended. And then for the trigger feel, we're going to go ahead and place it back on fire again. And the trigger seems pretty decent. I mean it's pretty basic, a basic trigger, you know, what you would expect to see in any military style AR rifle. I mean, they're basic factory triggers, you know, not like the Geissele triggers that some people like to drop in, or any other drop-in trigger upgrades. Those tend to be lighter, they're adjustable, you can kind of tweak them to where you want them to be. But for what this is going to be, you know, I'm setting it up to be what's called a DMR, or designated marksman's rifle, and it's not really necessary for it to be like a super light trigger or fine-tune adjustable. You know, the basic trigger will work. So with that being said, you know, it is kind of what you would expect for a, you know, a stock rifle. All right, we're going to go ahead and pause this video right here and start with the next portion. Okay, we are now once again going to show the rifle is clear for the next portion. No magazine, no ammo, nothing in it. It is completely empty. We're going to return the bolt home. Now we will take our cleaning rod, which we have right here, and we're going to insert it into the barrel muzzle end first and run it all the way down till it stops right there at the bolt face. We're going to make a mark on the rod. Alright, now we've done that part. We will remove the rod, place the rifle to the side, which in this case I will go ahead and set it on my vise block over here. A little weighty, not bad though. We'll get out our tape measure, and we will measure from the tip of the cleaning rod to our mark on the rod, and you can see that it comes up at just 19 inches. With the muzzle device on there, that adds another 1.5 inches, so I would say 20.5 inches. Okay, now the next portion is to measure the twist rate. We'll pause that video right here and we will get set up for the next portion. Okay, for this next portion, we have gone ahead and flagged our rod with the marker so we can see the rotation, and attached a cleaning patch so that we can cause some friction to make it rotate. We'll go ahead and get that inserted into the barrel like so, and then we will give it a light push, and that is one right there. One full rotation. So we will go ahead and give this thing a light mark right there on the rod. We will remove it, and that mark is right here. And we'll take our tape measure, measuring from the tip of the jag all the way down. And that is 13 inches, so it's got, for every 13 inches, it will rotate once. Which the barrel is labeled as a 1 in 10 twist, so it shows to not be exactly as accurate as the marking on the barrel says. Alright, we will pause this video right here and move on to the next step. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, at this point we're going to go ahead and do our go/no-go gauge testing. You can see our extractor is removed and the ejector portion as well. Go ahead and place those in the rifle itself. We will take the no-go gauge right here, which is right there. We'll go ahead and place that in the chamber and attempt to close the bolt, which you can see now it will not close. It is fully extended. There is a large gap in the front. We'll go ahead and pull that out and shake out the no-go gauge, which is right here. Now we will place our go gauge in there, which is also chambered in 308 Winchester, as you can see right here, labeled on the side. We'll place that in and attempt to close the bolt. As you can see, the bolt does fully seat closed and there is no gap present. Alright, now we've opened that up. We'll go ahead and remove that. We'll pause this video right here and set up for the next portion in just a couple seconds. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, for the final part of our video, we're going to take our firing pin protrusion gauge here. We're going to push the firing pin to its forward position, put that on there, measure it, tighten it down like so. There we go. Now we're going to take our little caliper here. I'm going to measure the distance. It doesn't take me all day to do it, we'll get there. Alright, that is showing just short of 7, so I'm going to take that out. We'll release the firing pin piece. And we'll go ahead and tighten it back down and see what the change is. That is 1/1000th of an inch. That is a very, very tight tolerance. And that is our last portion of this video, so without further ado, I will end it here and tell you thank you guys for showing us some attention, and we will see you next time.